Guys, welcome back to Tiree. Coming up next is the Pro Expression session, although actually there's a little bit more to talk about than pros. We're going to be running basically what is a 2-heat jump off, approximately 10 men in each heat. Very exciting to watch, very good for the cameras. And the fleet for this is going to be made up of the podium placers from all of the fleets that have been competing here this week. So the top 3 children, top 3 ladies, top 3 masters, top 3 amateurs all have the option to compete in the expression session that we're going to be running, and around about 10 of the pro riders will be joining them. So about 20 riders, and this will be split over 2 roughly 10-man heats, 12-minute duration, and the highest score from either of those 2 heats will take a £150 cash prize. Ultimately, this is a commemoration for the late great Farrell O'Shea, who was a Tiree supporter, Tiree Wave Classic supporter, previous competitor on the Isle of Tiree here, who recently passed away earlier on this year doing what he loved, a windsurfing competition in France. So this expression session is to commemorate his time and his time with windsurfing. So, very exciting. We're just getting underway at the moment. Folk are heading up the beach and they're now in sequence so as to start. And the format is 2 12-minute heats with the highest jump score basically winning the competition. £150 for the winner. One man takes all. However, if anyone gets caught on camera performing a combination jump, there's an extra 50 quid in it for them, so that'll cover the bar bill for tonight at the prize giving. An extra £50 for anyone caught on camera with a combination jump. Should there be more than one, then it'll be the highest scoring combination jump gets the extra £50. So combination jump is either double forward, push forward, tabletop forward, double backy, double push loop, a whole variety of things. But basically, where 2 distinct jumps rolled into one, then that qualifies as a combination jump. So we're just teeing up for this, starting to see some of the riders going out in the water. This is a little bit more indiscriminate than the windsurfing competition, and don't expect to see any wave riding going on. This is all about the jumping, and there'll be radical action. And straight from the get-go, with 10 guys going out in the water, you're going to see jump, 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 jump. So it's really fun to watch. Much, much harder for the judges, however, to try and pick out who is the best in this kind of format. So coming up, the Pro Expression session. And as mentioned earlier, that will be the top 3 podium places from each of the fleets are invited to join the pros for a massive jump fest, effectively, is what they're going to be doing. Still very windy, most people on somewhere between 3 to 3.5 metre sails, and don't expect to see any wave riding. This is all about the jumps, guys, so quite visually exciting from that point of view. So we're underway now, we're on the timer, and we're looking for the best possible performance. So first run out, let's see how it goes. Just a little hop, skip and a jump there. Heading back upwind, let's see if there's any more action as some of the guys will start to leave the beach. They're all heading for the water. Maybe running a little bit behind here. There was a bit of a skirmish on the beach as people were getting ready, but they're all hitting the water. And that's the Masters winner, John McLaurin's, heading out into the water there. Bright green neon board, neon yellow, neon green. John's favourite manoeuvre, back loop. So let's see if we can find a ramp to piece that together. Anyone with a rash vest on is a competitor. Anyone without a rash vest is not a competitor, and that helps the judges to identify who's actually doing the event, just in case there's a few free sailors out there in the mix as well. So heading off the beach, that looks like Lucas Meldrum with a bit of rocket air just coming off the beach there. But remember, what we're looking for are big and technical jumps. So that was a big old back loop from John McLaurin's with a red Severn sail. Big old back loop on that yellow sail as well. It's all going off on Got Bay. Expect to see some thrills and spills here. Young Eddie McLean there, just firing into the shallows. He's going to turn around to head back out, see what he can score on the jumping front on the way back out. Big push loop, Ben Page that looked like on the blue sail. Bit of a wet landing though, so that's not probably going to be a winner for us. And just a big straight jump there with some of the guys coming out. Oh, here we go. No, not quite enough there to get airtime, but there is another one behind there. Let's see if there's any steep face, and there we go. Oh! Nasty forward wipeout. Let go, but very late on the way down. Recipe for not being able to have children, that one, I'm afraid. So just glancing further upwind, what some of the guys will be doing is teeing up on the beach and just seeing what they can see on the way out to sea here. So we've got a couple of guys going off the beach here. That's Scott McDowell on the outside, moving out the way. John McLaurin. Scott's a big, big jumper, pro fleet competitor for about the last 20 years or so. So we're looking for something big from Scott on the way out here if he gets the right ramp. You will in a moment probably see him bear off. And he's seen something there. He's heading upwind, but just hits the white water a little bit and crashes. John McLaurin's low back loop, but flattens. Now what's fun about this is when you see the guys going out, you can follow 2 or 3 of them at a time, then scroll back upwind, and suddenly you're seeing the action. So in this lineup, that's Lucas Meldrum and Ben Page, so the numbers 1 and 2 from the main event. So surely they've got something big in them. You see Lucas really bearing off hard here now. Full summer spent training, competing in Pozo, so let's see what he's got. And that's a big back loop, and he pretty much sticks the landing. A little bit wet, not too bad, but could have been a bit higher. Possibly not the biggest manoeuvre we're going to see inside this heat or in the competition that we're having here as a whole. So that looks like Eddie McLean on the upwind, and can't quite make out the equipment, but heading up with a white vest. A little bit of airtime. Just finding white water here on this run on the way out, but maybe this one's going to jack up a little bit. Steep ramp out the back. Let's see if he bears off to hit. So there's a bit of commotion outside. There's obviously something going on upwind. Hopefully we've not missed some big action. Now, there's some interest. That's Leith on the way back in again. But we're going to follow John McLaurin's, who's heading out at the moment. So that's John, full planing speed. Like I say, his favourite manoeuvre is the back loop. In these kind of conditions, that can lead to some pretty dramatic wipeouts and overpowered onshore conditions. So we might see some big action with this. A lot of the riders all heading upwind. So I think we're going to pan back upwind and see what action we can see. A lot of the guys heading up, getting into pole position to head out with speed and start hitting some jumps. So here we go again. Whoa! Monster forward from Lucas Meldrum. Now that's the kind of height that we're looking for in this competition. Forward being one of the easier jumps that you can do at that kind of altitude, but nonetheless that was a big one from Lucas there. A little bit of a jump. I think that was Leith Campbell, one of the ladies' podium placers out the back. Looks like Lucas might have a little bit more in him if he finds an outside wave. I think at this point he's probably out the back and lacking a ramp at this stage. And that's a monster back loop crash from someone there. That won't score though. Okay, who have we got on the inside here now? That looks like it could be a Scott McDowell. Or maybe an Ian Ross actually, all the way from Cornwall. Not seeing Ian jumping so far here, so let's see what Ian's got on the way out. Some bigger sets starting to come into the bay here now. You can see on the outside we've got some logo high white water just starting to creep into the bay with this ongoing southeasterly wind this morning. Much bigger than it was earlier on in the competition. And Ian's gone down. We'll track back upwind, see if we can find some big action here. Someone with speed on the way out. I think that's one of our Europro riders. I'm not sure which. Let's see if they can find a ramp on the way out. Here we go, here we go. Just a little bit late getting there, unfortunately. Just broken just before he got there. Big forward from Scotty McDowell. Huge forward from Lucas Meldrum. But Lucas goes down, so that will not actually count, unfortunately for him. That was a huge forward loop. John McLaurin with a bit of speed, popping out through the white water. Needs to find a clean, unbroken ramp. And goes down. That's Eddie McLean with a little bit of rocket air time. I think looks like Leith Campbell on the way back out, just behind him there. Leith doing well to hold on in these conditions. Sure she's on something pretty small there at this point. Now they've got some set waves just looming up ahead of them. Let's see if they can find a ramp. Eddie's just jibing, heading back in. Let's see if Leith can find something to jump off. Nice floaty high jump for Leith Campbell. Ian Ross has had enough. He's coming up the beach. He's done. Scotty McDowell on the charge on the way out in the green sail. Some big ramps lining up for him. You can see that Scottish helmet with the blue and white Saltire flag on the back of it. He's bearing off. But he's too fair. He wouldn't go for the forward. No good, Scotty. You're out. Here we go. Ben Page, that looks like. One of the Euro riders, can't quite make out whose equipment that is there. Looking for some bigger ramps here, try and score some air time. A little bit of a jump from Ben Page, but very overpowered, loses the backhand, goes down. Okay, now we got Lucas Meldrum at the back, taking off the beach. Eddie McLean just ahead of him. Let's stay with Lucas. bearing off with some big speed. Eddie with a bit of floaty air time there in the background. Lucas bearing off. He's seen something. He's going hypersonic. He's seen a ramp. And just a little bit of a gust at the apex there. Didn't feel comfortable initiating for the loop. Ben Page trolling back upwind, trying to get back into pole position. Monster wipeout. Didn't quite catch who that was upwind.